Welcome back to the Most Valuable Player podcast. My name is B-Man. I'm here with Wheezy and Sosa. We're back again with another episode of the Most Valuable Player podcast, football edition. This is going to be a continental topic. Messi came out, and when Messi comes out and speaks about something, the world has to listen.
Yeah, people were listening, and he had something to say.
Yeah, so he had an interview with Mundo Deportivo, and he kind of basically mentioned the fact that he didn't actually say he was unhappy, but he wanted Neymar back at Barcelona, and he felt like Barcelona didn't do enough to try and sign him. And although I'm paraphrasing slightly, the whole interview kind of ended on like Barcelona needs to compete. And if they're not competing, then what am I doing here, kind of thing. And what did you make of the comments that he...
that he made? I found it interesting. I mean, obviously, him trying to say that it were more the players that wanted Neymar more than the board. But I think, obviously, Messi's talking from a player's perspective, isn't he? So he's looking at it from, he wants to win the Champions League. He thinks Neymar's the missing part. But in terms of it, I thought it was an interesting read, but it was like more... I don't know. I mean, obviously, from the board's point of view, you've got to understand where... I don't think Messi took that into... Obviously, he wouldn't, though, would you? But where this guy's pushed a move through, and he was at Barcelona, he didn't need to leave. And they've obviously seen all the troubles that are going ahead of him. So from that angle, I don't think Messi did it. But, like, in terms of it, though, I think... Because obviously there's that thing in his contract, isn't there, where he can leave at any point at the end of the year. So to me, it seemed like he was edging towards a threat to say... He said, because he said, like, we haven't won the Champions League in a long time and I really want to win that. And it's like trying to say that was the missing part of our Champions League jigsaw. So why have you not signed him that? And it's like, that to me just came across as if to say, you do know I can leave at the end of the year for free.
But I mean, look, Barcelona signed Griezmann and they signed Frenkie de Jong. Two supreme talents. Don't you think it's like slightly greedy for him to then turn around and say, well, our team is still not good enough, we want Neymar?
I think that's where it came from, though, because... Originally, I think we talked about this before, about the transfer roundup. Antoine Griezmann had already announced that he was leaving Atletico, and it took forever for Barcelona to be like, okay, deal's done now, he's an actual Barcelona player.
They did technically have to wait until a certain date in July, though. Otherwise, they would have had to pay...
Yeah, they
200 million or something.
So they had to. So they did that, but I don't think it was made aware to. I don't know if Messi has to be made aware of it. This is Lionel Messi we're talking about. He is pretty much Barcelona at this point in time. That if they had the funds to get Neymar, then they would have got Neymar. There's no question whether if the funds are available, Neymar would be wearing a Barcelona shirt right now. It's just that they didn't have the funds, and they had to try and negotiate either swapping out players that PSG would want, and PSG didn't want none of their players. So I can see where Lionel Messi's coming from. But at the same time, I think he's just saying, because he knows that he can just not say anything and this would be all swept under the rug. The fact that he says it, knowing that they probably couldn't get Neymar in the first place, kind of gives me the feeling that he's making excuses now.
But I think he believed that they could have gotten him.
Yeah.
I think he genuinely believed they could have gotten him. He just felt like Barcelona hadn't done enough to try and sign him. That was the issue. PSG were clear in their stance, and to be fair to PSG, they've stated exactly what they wanted, and Barcelona weren't willing to part with what they wanted. And I think Messi's argument was well, I don't care what you're willing to give up for him, give it up, because that's the guy, like Weezy mentioned, he's the missing link. We have him, we have myself, we've got Frenkie de Jong, we've got Antoine Griezmann, we've got Griezmann, we've got, like, that is a squad that could score 5-6 goals every game.
So if they did say no to him, do you reckon that's given him the license to want to leave now?
No, but the thing is, and we should know by now that players will use their contract as leverage to try and get what they want. And from Messi's perspective, I mean, if it was someone like Lenglet that said that, I'd be like, yeah, the door is there. Who the hell do you think you are? But from Messi's perspective, there's a legacy on him. This guy's international career was a car crash. The only thing that he has to fall back on is his club, is Barcelona. The more he wins, the greater his legacy. I don't hold it against him for him to turn around and say, look, I need this Champions League. He's not even getting any respect, and the guy won the league last year, and no one even mentions that. and they won what? They won the league by how many points? 15?
15, something like that.
Something ridiculous like that. Like, I don't hold it against players, because if the team is not willing to do it, then it's up to the players to stand up and like be accounted for. And Messi is just one of those guys.
But that thing with his contract is, it's in every Barcelona legends contract. So like Xavi, Iniesta, Busquets has got it, Piqué's got it. They've all got it. So
Piqué is a Barcelona legend.
Well, no, I'm trying
to be fair, yeah.
Okay, But I don't know.
But I'm just saying to you anyway, any kid that come through the academy, well, not even, let's just take the legend out. Any kid that's come through the academy and that's been over Barcelona, they said over 10 years or something like that, has that in their contract.
Yeah.
So for Messi to be using that against the club after all because like with Messi, he's got to understand at the same time, their squad's not balanced. Their defense is awful, and their midfield, they've revamped the midfield. They've got like young Arthur, and then they've got Frankie de Jong. And clubs like basically they're thinking long term. We've got to start rebuilding. Our squad's aging, the backline's aging. Well, you've got to prepare for life without Messi as well.
Correct.
So Messi's thinking of it from, I don't want to call it selfish, but he's thinking in many people's eyes, Messi's got 3 Champions Leagues compared to Ronaldo's. Like Ronaldo's won 4.
Well, technically, people argue that he's got 4
because of that. But he didn't really play in the 2006 final against Arsenal, so he like got injured in the group stages against Chelsea, and that was it. He didn't really appear. So in his eyes, he's thinking that's why he's desperate. Last year he made the promise that we're bringing it home.
Yeah,
and that's why he keeps highlighting the Champions League, because in his eyes he needs to equal Ronaldo. Yeah. But coming back to that point, I don't know, stop giving away 4-0 leads in games, and then you won't be in that position.
But it's strange. Neymar, I never thought that Neymar would be the guy. For some reason I've just never rated him high enough, because I've seen moments of pure world class, like some of the best performances I've ever seen from him. But then I've also seen some of the worst performances from him, where he spends half the time on the floor, or because a lot of Neymar fans don't like people saying that about him. But also games where he just doesn't touch the ball enough, where he goes in hiding a little bit. But he came back yesterday after the whole debacle ended. He's now back in the squad. Did they quote an injury for the reason why he hadn't played so far this season?
They just said that
he's
training away from the club.
Yeah.
So he came back and scored a last-second overhead kick to win the game against Strasbourg.
Yeah, that was unbelievable.
It was an unbelievable goal. But how old is Neymar now? Is he 27?
27,
yeah. I think like it's madness. But at the age of 27, like you've got to look at what Ronaldo and Messi were doing.
Yeah.
And then for me, like you said, he spends too much time on the floor. There's games he does go missing. I don't know, like Messi and Ronaldo put winning and the team winning before anything else. Whereas Neymar is just, for me, his mindset. So I think his mentality and his mindset. That's why I've never highly rated him. I've never said, he's like on there. Like people that say, he's better than Messi and Ronaldo. How?
No chance. Yeah.
It don't make sense.
It's funny you mentioned he's at 27. Where has he got to? You got to realize at the ages at like Messi and Ronaldo at the legends that they were looking towards, the guys like Zidane had retired, Ronaldinho was out of the door, and it was those 2 guys that was going to take the reins. These 2 guys have just been on an absolute stomp throughout footballing history. And like there's not been a chance for the next lot to go through, because these guys have just been excellent. And
but it's not even a chance. Like if you let's just go down to the next batch who are like
Hazard,
you're like even like going back to Rooney, them kind of guys. Hazard's carried Chelsea to a league title. He's like, do you know what I mean? There's times he's carried Chelsea to a Europa League. Hazard turned up in games. For me, there's times where you think to yourself, for Neymar, like for the biggest PSG games, he's always injured or he's always been sent off or something like that. For me, I don't know. He's just, there's something about mentality-wise anyway. Like people always, like coming back to your basketball analogy, people always say Michael Jordan had that killer mentality. Yeah. These guys like Ronaldo, Messi and that, they've got that killer mentality. For me, Neymar doesn't have that mentality. It's just I've always said it, like for Brazil, like Brazil winning the Copa America as well, coming back to that. If Neymar was there, I don't think they win that Copa America. He made the team more balanced, and he made the team more not so reliant on him. Wherever, like, look like they were just giving the ball to Neymar because that's our superstar. Let's just give it to him. It's just, I don't know. For me, Neymar's he's not that guy at the moment.
To be fair, that's a Brazilian tradition where if you got a world class player, you give him the number 10 and it's like free reign.
Yeah, fair enough. But it's just,
I think it's a little bit harsh though. What you're saying, it's still a good player.
I'm not doubting his ability.
He's right.
I'm not doubting his ability.
He's not young anymore. It's not
young anymore. You can't keep making
a fresh-faced kid like if a player at his level has not being able to like prove to the world I deserve to be talked among around like the better players in the world, like the Lionel Messi's and the Ronaldos. It's like you're going to be stuck at that level below them for the rest of your career to a point where other people are just going to surpass you. Like right now, he's looking dangerously close to being surpassed by his teammate Mbappe in the future.
I think he's very, very close to being surpassed by Mbappe. Depending on what Hazard does at Madrid this year, I think Hazard might surpass him as well. So, do you know what I mean? It's just, for me, this has got to be it now.
If Neymar had come to Barcelona, though, I don't think he'd ever fulfill that. Like, because he'd always been the shadow of Messi. This was his opportunity to be the guy.
But he left Barcelona to carry PSG to a Champions League final. If he doesn't do it this year, because after I think the next summer's window, I think he'll probably will be gone. Then he goes back to Barcelona at the age of 28, and then
that's gonna be the rest of his career then.
Yeah. So, to me, I think if he takes, I'll give Neymar the world of credit if he takes this PSG team to a semi-final or final of the Champions League.
That'd be great. So, okay, now Champions League starts again this week. Just to round up the episode, like what would you guys like to see in this year's Champions League? Was like your Christmas wish for the year?
Liverpool and Man City to go out in group stages.
Typical Man United fan. Typical Man United fan.
That's highly unlikely.
That's about
You know what? We had an all-English final, which was immense. I'd like to see at least. We kind of expected Tottenham and Liverpool to be there or thereabouts because they were that good. Maybe not so much Tottenham, but Liverpool definitely.
Yeah.
I'd like to see, as far as English teams, I'd like to see an English team, more English teams make it out of the group stages, because we had Arsenal, we had Liverpool. Who else was in the group stages? Man City and Tottenham. I think with the amount of English teams now, they should be more dominant in the Champions League. I think that's what I'd like to see.
Do you know what? After the way it ended for Barcelona last year, I'd like to see what they do this year and see how far that they can go, and see whether or not Messi can live up to the promise that he made last year, considering that his team is a lot better this year. And I think they have to be considered one of the favourites.
Yeah,
actually, let me take that back. I'd like to see for the amount of people that have been doubting him, I'd like to see Ronaldo try and step up and actually do something now in the Champions League. Because last year's
Ronaldo, I would do that.
Because Ronaldo, like, when he got knocked out by Ajax, and it's like everyone's like, "What are you doing? You look like they took him for a joke for losing to a team like Ajax."
But he did his job. He did his job. He scored in both legs.
Exactly, but I feel like they need to redeem themselves in regards to losing to a team like Ajax.
Yeah.
I'll tell you what, that Ajax team,
the Ajax team was no joke. But now
people just said, "Oh, it's Ajax, bunch of kids. We've never heard of their players."
Even still,
you know what I mean?
Even still, this is Juventus.
Yeah.
It's not like you're talking about nobodies.
Yeah, it's true. But me personally, my one wish is for Atletico to get to the final. I think they deserve it.
Anyway, guys, we're gonna go put a pause on it there. Thank you guys so much for listening. Please let us know in the comments what you think is going to be your favourite moment in the Champions League, or what you would like to see, and then we'll be back again next week.
Tammy Abraham's hat-trick in the Champions League. That's my moment. That's my moment.
Oh, Chelsea in the Champions League.
Yeah, he had it.
Yes.
Anyway,
I forgot about that.